I'm Alan Marshall. I'm based within social policy at the University of Edinburgh, and I'd like to welcome you to this tour of POPGROUP. So we have a set of training resources here, including videos like these, but also exercises which give hands-on opportunities to use the POPGROUP software to produce population projections. So this set of resources follows on from an introduction to demography, but also sets up a later resource which has as its focus the topic of developing sub-council area projections, again using the POPGROUP software. And this is all part of a wider project funded by National Records of Scotland and involving the universities of Edinburgh and Manchester, which is designed to give local authorities the capacity to produce projections of population using POPGROUP for sub-council areas. So in this introductory video, I want to describe what the tour of POPGROUP will be attempting to achieve. I'd like to introduce POPGROUP, which is the industry standard in demographic projection, as well as its data modules. Within this tour of POPGROUP, you'll be going about replicating a set of 2016-based council area projections produced by National Records of Scotland, but you'll be using POPGROUP to do this, along with its data modules. I'll be showing how you can use POPGROUP to produce variant projections, so altering the assumptions that National Records of Scotland apply for those official council area projections. But I'll also, in doing so, be exploring POPGROUP, both its functionality and giving an introduction to its methodology. And this tour of POPGROUP will then be followed up by another resource which contains a whole set of videos and exercises on developing projections for sub-council areas. So first of all, what is POPGROUP? Well, POPGROUP can be described as really contain a suite of demographic software which allows users to produce projections of populations, households, labour force, as well as other characteristics, and doing so for specified geographical areas or population groups such as ethnicity. Forecasts can be made using a variety of data inputs and assumptions which the user can influence and vary. We can use POPGROUP to estimate the current population, for example, between censuses, but also to forecast future populations and producing detailed age and sex composition in terms of the detail of the population structure. So POPGROUP provides a UK standard for local demographic analysis and forecasting, complementing the cohort component approach that's used by UK national statistical agencies. The software is widely used by analysts and planners in the public and the private sectors, but also in academia for research and teaching purposes. And in terms of its historical development, it was originally developed at Manchester University by Ludi Simpson and subsequently is now owned by the local government association and maintained by Edge Analytics, a demographic research consultancy group in Leeds. So what POPGROUP allows us to do, or one of its key functions, is one can quite easily replicate government estimates and forecasts and then tweak these to make alternative forecasts that might have utility in a town planning context. We can produce projections that are trend-based, so it continue previous trends we see in fertility, mortality and migration, but equally we can produce projections that meet particular targets around housing or employment opportunities. And more widely, we can use population projections to calculate the future of services. We can use POPGROUP to calculate projections of illnesses, households and so on, and we can use our population projections to inform the provision of services around these areas. POPGROUP is widely used, over 100 organisations, mostly in the UK public sector, also used at national level by the Welsh Assembly for local authority projections. There is a Scottish user group supported by National Records of Scotland. POPGROUP is used in the private sector on development plans, but also within academia in the UK. So quite a thriving group of users making use of the POPGROUP software. So this summary, this resource contains a whole set of resources. It contains a set of videos and associated exercises showing how to use POPGROUP. It sets up the following resource on sub-council area projections. But a key point to make is that in order to follow these exercises, you will need to have access to the POPGROUP software. If your organisation doesn't have a license, then you can contact Edge Analytics at the email address here, or by going to their website